Yo, what's good everyone? This is Monarchy, and today I want to discuss with you guys about a topic that is lingering for quite a while now, and I've been seeing a lot of players and content creators having this. So, let's talk about FOMO. And what people been, you know, missing out or not missing out due to, I guess, your state of mind. And before I continue and give my opinion about it, let's just hear someone talk about it, about FOMO. And if you guys want to look him up, is Healthy Gamer GG. And what what he's been discussing, it makes a lot of sense. So take a listen.
Today we're going to talk about how to become immune to FOMO. The basic problem with FOMO is that you are chasing the lives of other people. Instead of figuring out what you want to do in life, what we're doing is seeing other people do cool things, and then you're chasing after them, hoping to get a fraction of their joy. And today we're going to teach you how to switch it around. We're going to teach you how to be the inspiring person that sort of evokes FOMO in other people because you're out there living your life.
With that, it makes a lot of sense due to, like, if you're following content creators, streamers, or playing NGS, right? So as we play NGS, we want to catch that new thing, or the event is coming up. For an example, Crimson Realm, everybody wants to get into that due to what gives in loot, as the loot is not as fantastic and the grind of it depending on the person, due to if we don't have, or you guys may not have, a 10 star or 11 star, companies are using FOMO, and in this case Sega NGS, they're creating FOMO in a certain way on loot, on items, material, fashion, and also events, seasonal events, and LTQ and current quest, urgent quest, excuse me. So that can explain a lot that people are so-called missing out due to creative space. There are people that are creative or more creative than others, and others, they are not as much due to they don't know how to start or how to make something. And that's where it splits or divides certain people, that which is fine, but that comes into the mind and saying, I'm missing out of this. But you know what, some people say it's okay, but it's lingering in there, so they're like, oh, might as well find something else that I could fit in or get that joy or that trigger, that it just develops something, because they want something, they need something, they need to feel something, like to win. I've been preaching that there is no meta, or not preaching, but telling people there's no meta, but and the majority of the community, as the official Discord or official of NGS Sega, that it's creating that FOMO, since they want to get in touch but actually not really. So they put other people's, that, anybody in the comic section or in the communicating with them, they could just bite their heads off. So it's pretty much like if there's a pack of wolves or pack of wild dogs, and you just leave one piece of meat there, or lions, and they're hungry, they can try to kill each other off to take that meat. And this is pretty much the same example. It's like the content. Oh, NGS slow, like molasses, quote unquote. But if you think about it, it's a way to create something to make people like, oh, cash grab or pay to win, certain speak. Like, if you think about it, why the scratch tickets doesn't compete like Star Rail or Genshin Impact? Why they had to separate from the two, from SG and AC, to create FOMO. It's a strategy in mind that, look here, you need to buy this so you could get more out of it, or for it could make you wealthy in the player market. So we're giving you the advantage here, the key of using AC. And SG, they're gonna just grab what they could get, and maybe every random day or when they feel like it, they can put something slightly different. But if you could see, it's refined. They already have this. They're giving us the hand-me-downs from what? PSO2. So this is not a hand-me-down. This is brand new. This one in a way, but it's an event, but still showing that they're putting old shit on both sides. But mostly, who gets the old shit? Free to play players. This is new. This is like a cash grab type of thing. They might put something unique, item 1 or 2, maybe up to 5, but the rest, it's complete garbage. And the rarity of getting that certain item, it's so low that it's hard to get. So you have to scratch like once, more than once, 10 times, 20 times, maybe up to 60 till you get what you needed. Or you never get it because you're spending so much. That's what they get you, especially on any company. And what I heard, that there's this FOMO creativity, it came from what's it called, this game, Fortnite. Fortnite created FOMO, and you guys could look it up, but Fortnite created FOMO and started to, other companies started to apply it. Even though Call of Duty, it's old, but they had a little here and there snippets. But once the cash cow came along and a little bit FOMO has been created, but not as much. They just want to go money hungry and play to win. So when Fortnite came along, they made a recipe to create, you're gonna left out something new every single time, and then there's this grand wait for it, and then they change the area or the battlefield and putting new stuff, new skins, new outfits, or any cosmetic. So let's say because I don't play Fortnite, so let's just say it's going to be a week or monthly thing, like a seasonal pass or a battle pass. And you have like a month to complete it. That creates FOMO. Once you don't have it, it's out. And let's say it's season 5 and a new player came along. The new player cannot get those skins anymore. So, that leaves that person out. Same thing as NGS Sega. They're creating in a way, and that their slow pace helps it make it more longer period of time. But, let's continue.
Or simply feeling overwhelmed. Groups are a place that will help you learn things like social isolation, a lack of purpose, or simply feeling overwhelmed. Groups are a place that will help you learn the skills that are necessary for success that aren't really taught anywhere else. Skills like cultivating. So if y'all are interested in learning more about groups and interested in learning a little bit about how you can develop competence and confidence to move forward in life, check out the link in the description below. And this was something that was really hard for me to tackle as a psychiatrist. I sort of noticed that people would come to me more and more with FOMO, and that the traditional methods of psychotherapy didn't seem to be working. We talk about, okay, like what's your underlying insecurity, and tell me about your parents and all this kind of stuff, and that despite doing all that stuff, it just didn't seem to work. And that's when I sort of realized that psychotherapy is built on our cerebral cortices. It's built on the higher order functions of our brain. It's kind of like we talk about feelings and emotions and desires and values and even the subconscious, which manifests in dreams. But it's all part of our human or cortical mind, the most evolved parts of our mind. And the problem is that FOMO, and especially technology, activates the deeper parts of our mind. So if you sort of look at something like doom scrolling, right? Your cerebral cortices, your human parts of the brain, are kind of saying hey, we should stop doing this. Put down the phone. Go do something productive. You're going to regret this tomorrow. And your brain is kind of screaming at you, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this. But the problem is that technology accesses these weird, deeper, reptilian parts of our brain. Doom scroll. Dopamine. Fun. I don't feel good. Cats. Ha ha ha. Right? So this is how technology works. And it turns out that FOMO actually accesses two really, really primitive circuits in the brain that are also present with a lot of animals. The first is the reason why 2-year-olds are brats. And what do I mean by this? If y'all have ever seen a 2-year-old who's playing with other 2-year-olds, it's like I was at a birthday party recently where there were 2-year-olds who were eating cupcakes, okay? So one 2-year-old has a cupcake and starts eating cupcake. Cupcake's delicious. Another 2-year-old comes along and says, I want that cupcake. And you're like, no, these are all there's 30 cupcakes. They're all the same. Here's your cupcake. And the 2-year-old's like, no, I want that one. I want that one. I want the one that other people have. And when people get developmentally stunted, we see really sordid stuff, and I've seen this in my private practice, and it's really nasty. It's like 2 sisters, and one sister wants everything that the other sister has, right? So if one person wins a trophy in Taekwondo, the other one starts Taekwondo. And in the worst cases, this even involves things like trying to seduce your sister's husband because you want what they have. So this is a really primitive circuit in the brain. And you may have sort of seen this when people try to outshine you, or if you do one thing, someone's like, hey, you can't be doing that without me doing it. I'm going to do it better than you. I'm going to make you feel bad about yourself. I'm going to do it because you're doing it. I want exactly what you want. I don't want to live my life. I want to live your life, but better.
Going to that, That's kind of sound like other content creators or content creators that you guys have seen. That one's doing something that the other one is pretty much has a related um video. Like if they're talking about um let's see. If they're talking about oh, here we go. Enhancement. Enhancement or how to improve your gear, your character wise, your weapons, builds that doesn't exist, and how to be more efficient or um, equivalent to them or to other people that has the highest potency or flow potency and battle power. They want you to become just like them or like that person. So that creates FOMO to other players. And oh, I heard this player or another content creator, you need maceta. Why people keep asking maceta? So here you go. I'll give you how you make maceta. And that's not the efficient way how you make maceta. Like you could watch my previous video how you could be efficient with less work, but you have to put on the work for you could do maximum efficiency. So again, that can start with if you're thinking about star gems, maceta, Genesis points, so on and so forth. And being efficient, you could start with your weapons or armor, depending what you want to do and how laid back you want to be and how much you play in the game. So that's pretty much what I explained on the other video. And from that, people chasing something that isn't there, but what is there is the person that has the max money, that max maceta, money maceta, star gems, and so on and so forth, or better gear, better armor, weapon, whatever it is. That creates FOMO on players as a whole. So, and as well as the community and the social media stuff that the official NGS Sega that is involved, whatever you guys talk about there, that's gonna create FOMO. Or if you're an alliance, that's gonna create FOMO. If you're that type of person. If you don't care about FOMO or not being left out, that's good on you. But if you're the person that you're scared or afraid to be left out, you need to work on yourself to improve that FOMO won't be a part of your life. But yeah, let's go on.
So it's this really primitive circuit in the brain, and it's very like evolutionary in nature as well. Because I don't know if y'all have seen these videos of like, you know, people walking down the street and then a crowd, like a prank video where a crowd starts running the other way like the world is ending. And the person who's walking down the street is like, I don't know what's going on, but I'm going to turn around and I'm going to run with the crowd. So kind of monkey see, monkey do. It's a really primitive part of our behavior.
Pretty much.
The other primitive part that FOMO sort of accesses is this desire not to be ostracized. So the world has changed a lot, but our brain did not evolve for the world that we live in today. So as an example, you know, in the past we lived in like communities of maybe 200 or 300 humans. These were like tribal communities or even smaller packs. We're talking about, like, for millions of years, this is what humans used to do. And so if you sort of think about the price of being left out, or the price of ostracization, it was really, really severe, right? If you kind of fall out with your tribe, it's not like you can just meet new people on the internet today. You can't just block one person and then find a new person tomorrow.
Or
you can
report
now,
them.
but you didn't used to be able to. So what happens is our brains sort of realize that, okay, being ostracized from the pack, like a wolf that gets ostracized from the pack, is basically going to die. So our brains are hyper sensitive to being ostracized and left out. We sort of view this as, oh my God, now I'm screwed. And so here's the problem with technology today, is it activates these two primitive circuits. Logically, cortically, in a sort of human brain sense, right, our upper level functions, we may realize that I don't actually need to do what everyone else is doing. And if you stop and think about it, there are like 8 billion people on the planet. The definition of your life is that you're going to miss out on 99.9999% of experiences, because 8 billion people are out there. They're all eating great meals. They're all having all kinds of different problems and getting married and getting divorced and having kids and getting pets and going scuba diving and going surfing. The majority of your life is missing out on what other people are doing. The
True.
problem with things like technology and especially social media is it activates these two parts of the brain. And that's kind of hard to psychotherapize. So now the question becomes, how do we fix this, right? If these primitive parts of our brain are being active, what is the antidote to those primitive parts of the brain? And this is where we're going to talk about basically being satisfied. So if you look at like people who don't have FOMO, why do they not have FOMO? There's two groups of people, right? People who are able to just live their own life, and when other people are doing things, they're like, wow, that's really cool. That's really good for you. Like, I hope you had a great time. And these guys are actually genuine, right? They're like genuinely, like, they don't feel like they're missing out on anything. And why is that? It's because their cup is full. If we sort of think about, okay, if I'm starving and I see someone else eat like a really, really, feel like they're missing out on.
Yeah. So going to, like he said, their cup is full. It's like, myself for an example. Am I gonna miss out like any other players that's gonna be level 85 or has max out weapons and armor and have augments that I need to be higher level than 3,772? Am I gonna get FOMO because of them or any other content creators? No, I don't give a shit. And me getting left out, that's okay, because I'm playing another game of NGS that I'm not competing with the people that want to be number one or want to get ahead of everybody else, and then once they're ahead, there's nothing else to do. Just grinding, more grinding, trying to get Maseta, S Star Gems, and Genesis points, and getting outfits or accessories, things like that, and maybe better equipment. And end of the day, they're gonna get their self burned out, or the headline that is coming up. If something that they don't like, they're like, it's gonna take longer. Why am I? They're gonna ask themselves so many questions, and the answers they're gonna receive, they might not like. They're gonna burn out, get tired out, and leave the game, or play less and less and less till, they had enough. And it's not their fault, excuse me. It's the company, and sometimes the content creators too. They have to share the blame, and also the developer teams and social media of official Sega NGS. That is their fault. That's their burden that they have to carry. And maybe it's a trick that you could subscribe more, or press like, or like streamers, uh, give them more so you could get more content from them. And you know that creates FOMO in some way or another. Or if you're a person that don't give a shit, then you're okay, you're not doing bad. You're just trying to have fun as much as you possible can, and you could leave anytime that you want if that's in your mindset. Or you're the type of person that I already invest too much in this game. I don't know what to do. I'm gonna see where it goes, even if it's shit or not, and go put up with it to the very end. That, in a way, it's FOMO. But unlike me in this case, I already did videos of what I needed to do, and I'm just chillaxing. As there was one video that had an error, and there's another videos that I want to put in, but life takes the wheel. Then like, okay, this plan is out, that video's done, doesn't need it anymore, or it got too simple enough that like the guide of every single weapon that I wanted to make, everybody has already done it. And if I want to put a new twist in things, how people could use certain weapons, you can't, because like sword, for an example, it's so basic that you cannot make it any fancier, because this is not the game or the data that they put it into the game. It's, sometimes you have to shut down ideas, and that's okay. And let's keep going.
Anything, and why is that? It's because their cup is full. If we sort of think about, okay, if I'm starving and I see someone else eat like a really, really juicy burger, it's like, man, I really want to eat that burger. But if my stomach is full, I actually don't covet the food of other people.
Yeah.
So the key antidote to FOMO is to actually be content yourself. And that may sound really hard, but we're going to talk a little bit, a really simple way that I actually found worked for a lot of my patients to actually kind of be content specifically with FOMO. So what I want y'all to do is the next time you have FOMO, what you're going to do is you're going to want to do what other people do. I want that one. But instead of just jumping to do that one, because if you do, you're going to end up, you may feel good today, but tomorrow will roll around and you're not really content with your life, so you're going to get FOMO again. So instead of just jumping in and doing what other people are doing, I want you to stop and think a little bit about, okay, what is it about this activity that I am missing in my life? Because it's not the activity itself. There's going to be some kind of internal value that you recognize as not being satisfied. So maybe something like exploration, like people are going on a trip somewhere. Mm-hmm. And that sounds really cool. I wish I could go on a trip. So what I want you to really do is think about the underlying value that you want to sort of have in your life. And as you sort of figure out what that underlying value is, it could be exploration, it could be a sense of growth, it could be a sense of connectedness, or doing things with other people. So figure out what's that like deeper value that you care about, that deeper psychological need. So once you figure out what that is, the next thing to do is to start to think about, okay, systematically, how can I start to build this into my life? Because I know it sounds kind of weird. If people are going on a trip, like, you can go on a trip too. You don't have to go on a trip with other people. You can take the weekend and maybe go travel somewhere for like a weekend, maybe get a nice Airbnb or get a hotel for a couple days, or maybe pitch a tent and go camping. Mm-hmm. And then what I want y'all to really do is think about, okay, how can I satisfy this value in the simplest way possible? So we're not talking about duplicating a trip that other people are taking. What's one thing that I can do to feel a little bit more connected? What's one thing that I can do to explore? Hell, go to a museum in your city that you've never been to. Because we always go to museums when we travel somewhere else, but we actually don't take advantage of the touristy kind of things in our own city. And something cool will happen when you start to do that. Because when you set a goal for yourself, when you think a little bit about your values, and you start to move towards them.
Before he goes on, it's like he's saying, like, we're all gamers, right? how can we not miss out or do what you want to do, like content creators? Make a video, make a YouTube video, just, do like what I do. Just make a video, see what you want and what other people want to do. Or, just go with the whim and see where it takes you. Because I'm not 100% content creator. I'm not doing for it for the views. I'm just doing it because I want to do it. And also, hopefully, I get to the point that I could get paid as I make videos. But, it may not happen, or it may happen. Who knows? If not, oh well. At least I tried. But also, even if I didn't make money to make content, I'm just gonna keep on doing it. Or, the longer period of time I take, whatever information, I'll make another content. Depending what I feel. Because, more or less, other content creators don't do that. They just, want to pull out content out of their ass every single time or copy another person every single time. That creates competitive, and which competitive, it's fine, but also it puts in your head, oh, if he does it, I need that one. I need that cupcake. Like he mentioned. So why not make your own cupcake? Do what you need to do and be satisfied with what you do. It's like for me, I'm satisfied what I do and will build that I want to achieve if I'm able to do it, and if NGS allow us to do it, because hopefully this is a new beginning, and as well as they're going to add new features, new different things that, it may get me interested to this game and play it more often. But in this case, I'm not chasing the same apples that everyone else is. I'm chasing on a certain apple. And if that certain apple doesn't exist in this game, you know what? Oh well. At least I was chasing and hoping that Apple will arrive and get to that point. But also I could just leave out of the game and hopefully soon make another content that I do enjoy and want to keep on playing. But, there's plans in the works. But, I'm just sitting back and chill. And what you guys can do too is probably check out, if you're playing on PlayStation or any console, look at demos. Try every demo. Because, hey, you may not like it, but if you try it and play it, you may like it. You're like, oh, the cover or the name or whatever they were, the little preview that they give you. You're like, but don't say, just try it. You may like it. I have tried it. My friend told me try everything, even though the name or how it looks or present to you, just try every game. Don't matter. You have to get out of that comfort zone. Or play the ones that you're comforted in, and then sooner or later you can gradually get out of that comfort zone and you play other games. So that takes, something that you could try to improve. I just hope all players, all the game creators, and to see this video and maybe learn about it and then probably improve themselves. Maybe players can improve themselves by saying hi to somebody else that you don't know. Get to know someone, get networking. Get out of your comfort zone. Things like that, for you won't stick into that mentality of FOMO. Because it's sad if other players that's just, trying to reach out of the same apple like everybody else, what Sega's throwing at you guys. Don't be like that. Don't be those followers. Be you. Take in charge of yourself. But let this guy continue on, and hopefully you guys learn from it. And take note that everything is okay. You don't need that same thing as everyone else trying to get or be in that same meta mentality.
And something cool will happen when you start to do that. Because when you set a goal for yourself, when you think a little bit about your values, and you start to move towards them, that's what leads to contentment. And I know it sounds kind of weird. Contentment isn't fulfilling your fantasies. Contentment is progress towards your values. And that's what's really cool, is once you start doing this, you're going to start doing cool stuff, and you'll start to feel better about yourself. I know it sounds kind of weird. You may think, but if I want this desire, don't I have to fulfill the desire to be content? Actually, no. Because if we sort of think about the nature of desire, fulfilling a desire doesn't make it go away long term. It actually increases it over time. So instead, what we want to do is progress towards our values. So take a look at what someone's doing, figure out what you care about in terms of what they're doing, and try to build it into your own life in a very small way. And what I'd recommend is over the course of 3 to 7 days, try to take one step forward towards what that value is. And then once you start to do that a little bit, by all means, post on social media, right? And this is where we sort of get to the really fun part, which is that you get to induce FOMO in other people. And so let's say 2 of your friends are going to France for a week. And you're like, that's super cool, but I'm going to go camping for 3 days. And then you post about it, right? And you're going to be like, yeah, I'm going to go camping. Or you come back and you kind of say, hey, I went camping for 3 days by myself. It was really awesome. I got to hang out. I got to, go on a hike. I got to make a fire. I got to see some wildlife. It was really cool. And like camping and stuff like that is actually really fun. And then you're going to come back, and you're going to be healthier because you inhaled all these plant aerosols, you got fresh air, you were disconnected from the internet, which has its own advantages, and then you're going to post about it, and then you're going to start inducing FOMO in other people.
Yep.
So the real antidote to FOMO, the real way to become immune to FOMO, is to feel like there's nothing missing on the inside, the fear of missing out. And when we are unfulfilled internally, that makes our minds very, very vulnerable to FOMO. Because we've got these two really critical circuits, these primitive circuits in the brain.
Before he keeps going any further, it's like gamers as a whole. Regardless if you're a female and male, or whatever you guys think of, that if you want a partner in life, or have a girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever the case is, and you see other people having those type of things and you want that too, excuse me, how will you chase it? How do you want it so badly? But you're just seeing other people's lives progressing further, and you're getting left behind, and that mentality can create FOMO. So that's why try to play other games like Call of Duty or any Minecraft and other things besides MMO, or different type of MMO if you're that comfortable with just that category. And then once you feel like a little bit explorations, then try RPG And then after that, try puzzle games. After that, try strategy games, shooting games, or card games like Uno or Sorry or Clue, so on and so forth. Getting those games, try to if there is games that you're able to social with other players and from different platforms, do it. I recommend that. So like that, if you're a kind of like a hermit, that could be your social experience, that you're getting introduced with other players. So it's like he said, baby steps. We all need to progress a little further in one way or another. It's like a friend that I have. This friend hasn't gone out for so long and doing exercise or taking out the trash, being cleanliness, or doing their own activity. They can't do that like normal other people can. So I encourage that person, you know what, hang out with me more and try to do things if you want to do stuff with me, like going out or see something that you want. What is your goal? What is your favorite thing that you want to do? That person told me what they want to do. I'm like, okay, if you reach to a certain part, maybe this much, let's watch a movie together or play a game together. I'm giving them a reward if they reach a certain pinnacle part of their life and change it a little bit. So they got excited. They want to change, but there's tools for that. But that FOMO or that scared to being left out, it lingers in their mind, but also it's helping that person out to push a little bit forward to hang out with me. So I'm giving a little nudge, but not too much, for they won't fear that this work that they're gonna do, like chores and stuff, that I say just one thing, maybe clean the table, and if that's enough for you, that's enough energy drain, just do that. And do it every day, one item a day. Maybe clean your own dish. You did enough. And eat something that's a little bit healthy. And yeah, and that person told me it lose 6 pounds. I'm like, good for you. You know what? If you're losing 6 pounds, you know what? I want to lose weight too. Your motivation is motivating me. So, I want to encourage that person to keep on pushing forward. As much I could do a lot of things that person can't do. But I want to show them that I struggle, so they could see that we could do it together and improve our lives. So that's the message I want to send to you guys. And hopefully you guys share, comment, and subscribe and like if you guys want. If you want to thumb it down, fine by me. I don't care. But please, in a way, subscribe if you want things like this. Or put a little comment if you want to. Or leave more likes that you want more things like this, more real. If not, that is fine. But I'm going to keep putting videos out there that what I feel that is right to give you guys. Not like anybody else's. But let's let him finish that last bit before we go.
Of wanting what other people want and fear of ostracization. And FOMO tackles both of those. And the real challenge is that our cortical structures of the brain, our logic and all this other kind of stuff, doesn't really work at kind of fixing those problems. So I encourage y'all to really lean towards your values. Start to take a couple of small steps, and you don't have to go all the way. And as you do that, you'll start to build contentment, and you will start to induce FOMO in others. So good luck, and keep us posted on what y'all ended up doing and whether it worked or
not. Nice message. Because I would like you guys to post things too. Oh, or if you don't, maybe in yours things, post it and make it feel good about it. If you have Facebook, Twitter, or whatever it is, any social media, if you accomplish something, post it, let people know. You don't need to post it on my comment section. If you want to, that's fine, that's great. But, you know, you guys have to do better and be more proactive about that. Even though I say a lot of shit and towards the community and Sega, but I want to be fair and speak facts and truth without any other sugar coating things or telling you have to do this because you need to do. No, I'm giving you guys choices. What you guys want to watch, I have videos. What you don't want to watch, that's completely up to you. But yeah, hopefully you guys learn from it, and I'll probably see you guys next time. Peace out.